Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Live with Mel. On Monday, the Budget House Committee has voted to advance President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion relief bill. Now, before we dive in and really learn about this relief bill and when you could be seeing your money, because you could be seeing your money very quickly if you qualify, I like to thank our sponsors. I'd like to thank New House Cleaners. New House Cleaners is here to keep your home and office space looking clean and tidy. And in no time, they'll have your house looking like a new house. So I'd like to thank our sponsors, New House Cleaner. And if you're looking for a maid service, go ahead and contact New House Cleaners. Now, this bill has been talked about for a while. And one of the big things about this bill is, when will people see their $1,400 check? I know a lot of people are anticipating getting their stimulus check. And if Democrats can pass things through like they want to pass things through, it looks as though the stimulus check could come by the end of March. But there is still a lot of hurdles that Democrats have to jump through in order to ensure that the money reaches the American people by the end of March. Now, they are on a strict deadline. Democrats are on a strict deadline because they're trying to get the bill passed by mid-March to ensure that there is no lapse in unemployment. Because if you have unemployment currently, if you have unemployment and you are receiving those extra federal unemployment dollars, you do know that unemployment will be ending at the end of March. And in order to continue to allow people to receive unemployment without any lapse, Democrats have to pass this bill by mid-March. Now, they do have a timeline that they're trying to meet, and it looks like they are on schedule, but there are a lot of hurdles that they still have to do. Now, according to Business Insider, Democrats do have a timeline that they can make the timeline, they can get you the money that you need, whether it's the unemployment money or whether it is the stimulus check. Now, I know they're looking to vote in the House on February 26th. So the bill is passed through, the bill is ready to go to the House, and they could be voting on this bill today. Now, after it passes through the House, because the House is the first step that the bill goes through, it has to go to the Senate. And then the Senate is going to look at that. And that's going to be between March 2nd to March 5th, where the Senate's going to look at this bill and see if they want to make any changes. Now, this is where things can get tight. If the Senate wants to make any changes to the bill, then it will be sent back to the House for the House to make the changes and then to vote on it again. And that would be between March 8th to March 12th. Now, this bill may be easier to pass than any other stimulus bill that we've seen in the past. And the reason why is because they're using this process called budget reconciliation. Now, a budget reconciliation, it basically means that because of this budget, again, Democrats can only really use this once, that they can pass through the budget without the help of Republicans, because they only need 50 votes in order to pass this through instead of the 60 votes that they usually needed to pass through, which basically means that if all Senate Democrats vote to pass this bill, then it can go through. But one of the biggest hurdles that we are seeing right now at this moment, one of the biggest hurdles is the $15 increase to minimum wage. Now, many people are debating whether this $15 bill should be included in this package. Now, again, there are many people saying that minimum wage needs to be raised, that it's not keeping up with inflation, and a federal raise up to $15 an hour is what the country needs. But we have other people who are arguing that this $15 an hour minimum wage should not be included in this bill. And right now, Democrats are meeting with committees to see if the $15 an hour bill can be included in this bill because of budgetary reasons. Now, again, Democrats are trying to pass this through with a reconciliation, so budget reconciliation. And they want to know whether the $15 an hour can be included for them to use reconciliation. Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. So we're going to see what they say. And I think they're meeting with them today. So Wade says, stop adding extra additional things into the bill. They get it through easier. And that's what a lot of people are saying. Many people are upset that they're trying to include this $15 an hour into the budget because this is the only thing that would stop them from getting all Democrats on board. And essentially, all they need is for all Democrats to vote yes on this rescue plan, because that's what they're calling it, the Rescue America Plan. If all Democrats vote yes, then the bill goes through. That's all they need. But we do know that there are some moderate Democrats who are concerned and who do not want to pass this $15 an hour. And they're saying that they may vote no on the bill if this is included. So 2 Senate Democrats, so Senator Manchin of West Virginia and then Senator Sinema of Arizona, are both saying that they are very wary about adding this into the bill. Now, if everything goes through like it's supposed to, what do the American people get? Now, again, right now, Democrats are battling to put that $15 an hour in. We don't know whether it's going to be in or not, but we will see. But what will this bill mean to the American people? Because while many people are waiting on this bill to be passed in order to pay bills, we do know that not everyone agrees with this bill. We know that many Senate Republicans aren't agreeing with this bill. But what is included currently in the bill? Now, I'm going to go over a couple things that are included in this bill. And we know that even though they may pass through, things may change just because of the way that the government does things. So we know that in the bill right now, we have the $1,400 of a stimulus check that's going out to people. Now, this has been debated as well. Many people, including Republicans and including moderate Democrats, are trying to put a difference in income into this. So we know that if you made $75,000 or less in the previous packages, that you would receive a stimulus check. And the one thing that people have been going back and forth about is whether or not that needs to change. Now, because of this, it's going back and forth, but we do see that it may remain the same. Now, again, this is a possibility that it may remain the same, because if it goes to the Senate and the Senate wants to change, it's going to go back to the House and it could go back and forth. But right now, if you qualify for the last check, it looks as though you will qualify for this check as well. So again, that is $75,000 of income a year if you're single, and I think it is about the same if you are married as well. Now, the other thing that is really important to this check, people, is unemployment. Now, unemployment was extended until the end of March. And right now we're seeing about a 6.3 unemployment rate across the country. Many, many Americans are unemployed and they're depending on these checks. And there's been a lot of times where there's been lapse in unemployment, and we saw that many Americans suffered. Even though they did eventually recoup the money, it did cause a lot of suffering. And Democrats are trying to put unemployment in a position where there will be no lapse, so people can continue to pay their bills, not only pay their bills, but pay their bills on time. So essentially, they're trying to pass this bill by mid-March to ensure that there is no lapse in unemployment. But not only are they trying to do that, they're also trying to increase the federal unemployment from $300 to $400 as well. And that is something that has remained the same in the bill and hasn't really changed. Again, now the next thing is funding for the vaccine distribution. I know a lot of people are talking about the vaccine. Many people want to know when they are going to get the vaccine. Now, some people are for the vaccine, others are against it, and that's not necessarily what we're debating here today. But the thing is, in order for people to receive the vaccine, there needs to be money for the vaccine. The vaccine needs to be able to be distributed. Now, within this package, there is money for the vaccine to be distributed and also for testing as well, so that more and more places can get the vaccine. And I know Meghan McCain was on The View the other day complaining because Joe Biden couldn't give a set date on when people in her age group, which is also near my age group, would get the vaccine. Now, again, Meghan McCain was complaining, and that's just one person. I know people are saying that she was being very privileged, but people do want to know when they'll be able to get the vaccine. if this bill is passed as is, we do know there's a plan and money allotted for the vaccine to go out so that if people want the vaccine, they can get the vaccine. And the next thing is aid for state and local governments. Now, state and local governments do need money. Some places need it more than others. Places like New York, places like California need this aid money. Places like Florida, not so much. I know that there are many Republicans who are saying that the aid to local government could be wasteful because it's going to also go to places that may not need it. Florida is a place that doesn't need the aid. They haven't really seen a drop. But places like New York, California, they have seen major drops and they do need the aid. Now, the thing about it is, if the local governments can get the aid, schools can open up quicker as well. And that's something that people are looking for, is to get schools open and running. So let's go to the comments really quickly. So Joanna says, I really believe the third stimulus should have been out already. People are drowning in debt. So many are out of work. By the time this third stimulus comes out, probably late April, it really is not going to help. It took too long. And then Wade says, never get a version 1 of anything. So I know people are upset because the stimulus is taking longer, but it is moving quicker than the other stimulus. And I know that Americans are suffering and Americans do need the money, but it could roll out quicker because of the reconciliation. Now, a lot of times when we talked about the stimulus packages in the past, the reason why it took so long was because of bipartisans, and Democrats and Republicans did not agree on things. And right now, it seems as though this stimulus package, which includes the vaccine, will roll out quicker because of the budget reconciliation. And that basically means that they can pass with 50 of the votes plus Vice President Kamala Harris signing it, because they only need 50. In all actuality, all the other bills needed a 60 vote and not the 50. So even though it seems like this may be taking a long time, it's actually moving much quicker than the other stimulus package. Because you have to remember, Joe Biden took office, and the new Congress also basically took office at the end of January. So it's basically been about a month. And so for this package, because this is Joe Biden's stimulus package, he's pretty much trying to roll it out in about a month or a month and a couple of weeks. So it is moving quicker than the other packages. So guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this stimulus package? Do you think that people will see their money by mid-March or the end of March, early April? Or do you guys think that it's going to go back and forth? Now, again, the biggest thing that's going to hold up this bill, and the only thing that could possibly hold up this bill, is going to be the $15 per hour federal minimum wage. Now, this is going to be the only thing that Democrats do not agree with. Like I said, many Democrats are okay with signing it, but we have 2 Democrats in the Senate who are not okay with voting for the $15 an hour minimum wage. And if Democrats very much want to add this bill, this clause into the bill, and it's something that they don't agree with. It's something that not all Democrats agree with. And like I said, the senator from West Virginia and the senator from Arizona, they're saying that they're not comfortable with voting for this $15 an hour. And this is going to be the one thing that could possibly hold up the bill. Because if this is taken out, it looks as though there is a consensus amongst all Democrats that they want this bill passed. This rescue bill is something for the American people. And as much as I do agree with $15 an hour minimum wage, this may not be the appropriate place for it if it's going to hinder the American people from receiving the money that they need. I don't agree with it if it's going to put a halt on people receiving the unemployment they need to pay their bills, if it's going to stop the stimulus check from going out to the American people. At the end of the day, $15 an hour is something that will help the American people, but we do need to think of the here and the now. And right now, we are going through a global pandemic. We're pulling out of it, but there is still a lot that needs to be done. And one thing that needs to be done is that money needs to go to the American people. There's no if, and, buts about it. If you look at what economists say, many economists say that that the economy is not going to recover till 2024 fully. The jobs may not come back. And right now, we need to focus on getting the American people the money they need. And the Senate, the House, all of Congress can debate about the $15 an hour later on down the road. But right now, we are in a global pandemic, and there are people struggling to put food on the table. There are people struggling to pay their bills. There are people struggling to do a lot of the basic necessities. There are still many jobs that are not available for the American people. The economy is opening up. Many places are opening up. But again, it does take time. And at the end of the day, I think something that's very important is getting people money who needs the money. So yes, $15 an hour sounds great. And I think that it should be, that's where we should eventually be. But I do not think that now is the time. Round and round, then round some more. That is Congress. And then Joanna says, nothing should hold up the $1,400 stimulus check. It's to show you how disconnected these senators are with the average American. I do think that's something that's important. They are disconnected. Many of them come from a place of privilege, and that's okay. But many senators do make a lot of money, and they don't realize what it could be like for an American who's making under $30,000, who lost their job and who needs to put food on the table for their kids, who needs to provide for the kids who are struggling to pay rent. Because at the end of the day, those are the people that are struggling. The people who are living below the poverty line right now need all the help that they can get. But not only people under the poverty line, we are now seeing that even middle-class families are struggling at the moment, and they need the help as well. So Congress passed the bill, debate the $15 an hour later, but get the money to the American people. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Mel Andre. This is Live with Mel. I come live every single Monday through Thursday at 9:30 or 12:30 Pacific time. So guys, please continue to tune in and listen. I want to know what your opinions are. Whether we agree or whether we don't agree, your opinion matters. I'm going to bring the information. I'm going to bring the facts, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. Because at the end of the day, we need to continue to have these conversations because these conversations are important. And whether you agree with me or whether you don't agree with me, that's okay. Let's have the conversation. Let's keep these conversations rolling because that's what pushes us forward as a people. And we don't always have to agree, guys. And I don't always have to surround myself with people I agree with. So if you disagree with me, let me know in the comment section below. If you agree with me, let me know in the comment section below. I am so eager to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know what your opinions are about everything involving the stimulus package. Do you think that the $15 an hour should be included? Do you think it shouldn't be included? Do you think Democrats are going to be able to pass this by mid-March? And do you guys think that it's right that Democrats are using the budget reconciliation in order to pass this through without the help of the Republicans? So let me know in the comment section below whether you're watching this live, whether you're tuning in for the replay. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really enjoy speaking with you guys. And then Wade and Joanna, thank you for writing in as well and joining the conversation. And if you like this show, you'll like my other show as well. And that is The Mel Show. And you can watch that on Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire, all on the Easy Way channel. You can binge all of season 1. And guess what? Season 2 is coming up soon. So next month, season 2 will be coming out. And I'm really excited for you guys to see season 2 of The Mel Show. So continue to tune in with Live with Mel. And I will see everyone tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everyone. And let me know what you think. Remember, your opinion matters. So go ahead and drop your opinions down there in the comments, whether you agree or disagree. And I think the big question is, do you guys think that Democrats will have this bill done by mid-March in order to get the money to you guys by the end of March, beginning of April? Let me know, and I will speak to you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.